Alright, we have here another kit. Now, let's see. Shout out to HLC. Okay, now this is kind of like designed to be just in case you ever got something. Almost like a little survival kit for like 24 hours. So I'm going to open it up. Right here we have a flashlight. Let's get that off of there. It's on the outside so that you can get to it in the dark. It doesn't have a battery in it, does it? So that's kind of stupid, huh? Well, we should put a battery in it, but we'll need to do it in reverse so that it doesn't drain. Now, look, I did. And I wrapped it in plastic. Great. I'm not going to ruin that right now, but this is prepped and ready that if it was an emergency, I think I'm good to go. Good grief. Okay, so I put a little bit of time in this. Alright, we got a flashlight. That's not the only one, unfortunately. I've seen inside this one. Okay. Let's open this up. And again, this is strap this on the outside of a backpack. Any molly strapping, just grab it. You could weave your belt through this if you wanted to have it. It's a bit bulky, but it means you have pretty much everything that you need for like a 24-hour. Okay, so last night I ended up using this. I had a stove and like a cup of ramen soup, right? And I didn't want to have to go all the way back to the truck to get a fork and dig through everything. And then I remembered, hey, I've got all that stuff in here. So I used the lighter to start the stove. Okay, I've got another one of these flashlights because they came in a pack. And they have like a zoom feature on them. They're cheap flashlights, but and this one is not prepped. I don't think it has a battery. It has a battery in it that's been plastic wrapped. Okay, yeah, that's... Okay, welcome to my world. Oh boy. Okay, let's get that back on there. And then go in reverse for a second. And then... And there, this is Ozark Trail, Pocket Men, but you can see they're made in the same factory. Okay, some glow sticks. These are handy, like if you don't have power, like someone used one of these in the outhouse here at the National Park. Okay, another one of these knife, scissors, saw. We've seen these before, but if you haven't, it's got a bunch of tools in it. So we can open a can or cut down a small branch, like trim a nail, like if you have a nail that's acting up. And the scissors and the knife, and that's really handy to have. Okay, this also has a survival whistle on it, a knife, and a beer can opener. For some reason, everything has a beer can opener on it in survival situations, because apparently you have beer, but you don't have anything else. Which, honestly, that's probably a pretty likely scenario. Here's some tinder. I don't know if I made this, but it's like a twine with like a paraffin wax on it. Let's see what else we got in here. Sometimes it's just like, what did I pack at the time? Again, these binder clips, we can use those to try to make like a improvised shelter. Okay, I've got a couple of emergency blankets. This is kind of meant more for 2 people. I think that's why I doubled everything up. Rain and poncho from adult. The combination of these two is helpful. Okay. Let's see what else we got. This is a World Stand-Up bag, and so this, you can actually boil water with this. So that's used for water. So we got water taken care of. The clips to make a shelter with. We'll put those like on the corners of a poncho or an emergency blanket, and we could stretch it out over a piece of rope. Okay, we've got a bandana. Those are always handy. This is a head mosquito net. So you can put this on to keep mosquitoes away. That helps a lot when you're sleeping. Bank line. It's like a tarred rope. It's really resistant to water. You can use it for catching catfish and things like that. And it's really handy in situations like this. There's a lot of things you can do with it. Some paracord. And that's a 550 breaking strength. It's like used on parachutes. We got one of these crazy kits. Ooh, now that is handy. I could actually use this right now. This is a battery pack. See how it's got adapters built in? So there should be one up here for USB-C. Okay, so I can actually use this right now. I forgot that this was in there. That's why I probably should have like an inventory, right? So I know what's in my stuff. Okay, so this, you can just plug this in a wall outlet, charge it, plug in old USB cables into it, like if you had an adapter for something, and then it's got the cables all built in. So that's really cool and great to have in here. I'm glad I found that. Okay, let's go through the last pouch here. This is another Right in the Rain notepad. These came as a kit, like a set. So this paper, even if it gets wet, it'll keep the message on it. And it perforates right there, so you can tear off like a little sheet and leave it as a note somewhere. And so you usually want to use like a special pen or a pencil for that. And I have included just the base pin. I don't know that this is exactly the correct one, but you can see I at least have a pen and paper so I can make a note. Okay, we've got a little sewing kit. That's handy. Like, I broke the button off a pair of pants the other day because I forgot it wasn't a snap. Suntan lotion, or sunscreen. Deep Woods Off. This is used for a water bottle. So what you do is you put this around the top of the water bottle and then clip this in, strap this to your belt, right? And now you have like a canteen, essentially. And who doesn't have a water bottle? Just walk anywhere in nature, you'll find a water bottle eventually. Okay, so this is like a fire striker. These are handy. They're hard to use. You have to practice with them. But they will work in situations where other stuff won't. But that's a backup. Our primary in this case is going to be our Bic lighter, and this duct tape is actually a very good tinder. Okay, another piece of junky rope that came with it. One of these saws. Now these are like diamond coated wire, and you're supposed to be able to like pull it back and forth. Well, what you actually want to do is put this on a bow saw. And this is not great. This is kind of like last resort. Or you need a nice garrote, you know. But last resort saw, you just are cutting a branch or two to try to get like some type of shelter. A very basic compass. Not sure how much I trust it, but it's something. You'd be surprised at how often you wander in circles in the woods. Okay, and then we got one of these pieces of junk. I'm not even going to put this back in there. This is supposed to be like a 10-in-1 tool. It's just garbage. And a whistle. This is like a survival whistle, so it's really loud. I'm not going to blow it. But you would grow hoarse very quickly if you were screaming for help. So it's always a great idea to have a whistle. And they have one on here. The one that they have, though, on the spoon, spork, is a piece of junk. So that's the primary, and the spork is the backup. Plus there's one of these on this paracord bracelet, which has paracord and a compass and flint steel and all that. But if you're falling back to this, I'm not going to say just die, but it's bad. You're like freezing and sitting there trying to start a fire with this useless piece of junk. You're just like, oh, it's so cold. I'm going to die if I don't do this. So hopefully it doesn't get to that. But all right, let's put all this in the bag. Repacking this stuff is an art. And I'll do it, but not right now. I think I do need that for this trip. Okay, we'll still look at that. So that was a pretty fun kit. That's like, you're camping, you keep this in the car even. It's like you forget something, you've got the basics. Right? You're not going to be comfortable. You won't be dead. Alright. Let's look at